Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another video series of Let's Talk Habs with the hockey coach, FRENCHY for the Hockey Nation live show. Today, I'm talking about the Montreal Canadiens, their prospect. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about each one of them. I have a select 20. Watch until to the end of the video because I'm give you a description of each player. So don't go nowhere. You know the drill? Yes? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And finally, of course, tell me what you think about the prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. So let's dive in right away and talking about the prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. The first thing, we have a lot of graphics today, guys, and I'm going to give you a little bit more information for each one of them. First of all, the Montreal Canadiens are considered inside the NHL. They are the number 8 as the best prospect to any other team in NHL. So they have really good draft, a lot of great players for the last couple of years. They are not ready to play in NHL yet, but compared to any other team, Montreal have a great bank of the player as a prospect. Which position they are really strong is really at the defenseman, more on the left defenseman. Should have 5 of them at some point playing in NHL very soon. The next 3 years, I would not be surprised to see 5 at least play with the Montreal Canadiens. Here, my top list for the Montreal Canadiens. Let's dive in. First of all, I'll give you all the players I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to disappear first of all here. So you have to see the qualification or the ranking from 1 to 20. Some players I'm not going to talk inside this video. I'm talking about number 17, Biondi, number 18, Stapley, number 19, Cam Ellis, then Luke Tuck, Pitlick, and Olofsson. I did not consider Logan Mailloux yet because he did not play for the last 6 months. He just restart, and I don't want to put him right away in the prospect. So I want to be sure you understand the situation why Logan Mailloux is not there. The number 1 we still consider him as a prospect is Cole Caufield, the right winger for the Montreal Canadiens. It's the first full year with the Montreal Canadiens. We know this difficulty he has at that moment with only 1 goal. He struggled a lot, and this is about a multitude of inconvenience or situation right now happening not only to him but the team. Last season, had an amazing, great debut with the Montreal when he finished his career in the Wisconsin Badger and NCAA. Have 10 points on the playoff, I believe. We consider him one of the top best prospects for the Montreal Canadiens. Be patient, wait what could happen to him. I believe that's the best way to see him with one day with the Montreal Canadiens at full time and produce at the level he should be. Each player, guys, I'm going to give you today, they have a description of them. And honestly, I could not read one by one. Each will take about 40-minute video. I want you to stop the video. I want you to make a pause here and you can see what we talk about. It's a lot of work here, so take a time about this, and I would appreciate if you can give me a big likes about this video and sharing this with your friends. Maybe they love the Montreal Canadiens. So again, I will not explain to each one of them, but you understand what Cole Caufield is. The next one, the player I want to talk about, guys, is Caden Guhle, from a left defenseman, play right now in the WHL. Maybe the best defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens prospect at that position. He's a solid defense on both ways, but more really strong on the defensive side. Really great defenseman, to be honest with you. I would not be surprised he become a top 3 best defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens one day. What we love to him is a great maturity already he has at this age of 20 years old. He's a great leader because not only a leader, but he's a great captain. He was a captain for the Prince Albert before he got traded to the Edmonton Oilers Kings. He was also the captain from Team Canada for the U20 World Junior Championship. Just give you an idea how the people consider his quality of leadership and maturity at that moment. Again, Same thing I mentioned, like with Cole Caufield, you can take a time to read about Caden Guhle. The next one I want to talk about is the number 3 in Montreal Canadiens prospect at that moment is Sean Farrell, left winger, 20 years old, NCAA, play for Harvard University. Great offensive mindset. He is great on anticipate, but also is a great shooter. He is really about his offensive. The reason why Montreal draft him whatsoever, it was a 4-round pick. He has right now a great year with the Harvard University with Coronado. A solid year last season in USHL, crossed the 100 point per year. He's going to be there at Harvard for a long term, so we don't expect Sean Farrell back with the Montreal Canadiens for at least a couple more years until he complete his diploma over there. Look, this is going to be really interesting to read about. We know he the reason why right now is just a 5'9", 175 pounds, but he is a really, really good playmaker, great hands, and I think you're going to be surprised the way he plays. If you're watching him, you will see a great offensive mindset player. So the next one I want to talk about is Jordan Harris, the left defenseman, 21 years old, from the Northeastern University. Is also the captain over there. And right now, we know the situation with him. He did not sign a contract yet with the Montreal Canadiens. That's the biggest question about the situation with him. Very high IQ, great offensive players, great on passing, breakout, carry on the puck, join the rush, everything like that. Great sense of hockey. What you need to, for me, is more important for him. It's a little bit more stronger, win the battle, 1-to-1 in corner, puck retrieval, and that will be something he need to get more muscle inside of his body to play in NHL. He did not sign yet, like I mentioned to you. It'll be interesting what's going to happen for the next. This is the last season where the Northeastern is going to be out after this. It will be ready to sign. Is it with the Montreal Canadiens? We don't know yet. That's something we have to follow up the next couple of months. Again, this is another description of Jordan Harris. Take a time to read this, and I'll give you an idea who is really Jordan Harris. Number 5 in the prospect organization is Jan Mysak, the center right wing, 20 years old, play right now for the Hamilton Bulldogs in the OHL. Play for Laval Rocket. We know OHL did not play during the COVID-19. He returned this year with them. He's really great, dynamic forward at that moment. Great on offensive, very smart, and he need to improve his skating and to get a little bit stronger. That's 2 areas we need to get better if you want one day play in NHL. We expect him to be with Laval Rocket for the upcoming year, next season. And maybe the Montreal Canadiens expect a lot for him one day to play in the NHL for sure with the Habs. Again, like I mentioned earlier, check this, take a time, pause the video, read about him, and you're going to learn more about Jan Mysak. He was also the captain at the U20 this last World Junior Championship. The next one I want to talk about is the number 6 prospect, Cayden Primeau, the goaltender, right now 22 years old, play on both Laval Rocket and Montreal Canadiens. Look, he get an opportunity because the injury of Jake Allen and of the Carey Price. Of course, he play for both. Need more experience. I think that's the biggest thing for him. It's to develop him properly. He needs to be in the net often. And you can see in the NHL when he needs to be, it's more about his consistency. It's completely, sometimes he can give you one of the best game, and then the next game is not there a lot. And also, I think his movement, T-push, sometimes he is out balance and he out of his position. That's something he needs to learn to get better. I believe he could be a solid backup number 2 in NHL, but you have to expect him to reach that level maybe at 23 or 24 years old, or maybe 25. And again, you can take a time to read more about Cayden Primeau. Number 7, Joshua Roy, center, 18 years old, QM. Maybe the most improved players in this organization, Montreal Canadiens. In that moment tonight, I'm talking about to you today, is the number 1 scorer, point, and QM and with the Sherbrooke Phoenix, unbelievable the year he got. What is his friends and how he's developed for the last 12 months. Look, this kid could become a great hockey player. He got cut at the end by Team Canada. But at the 6 months ago, he was not invited until the last couple of months ago. He showed his speed, his sense hockey, his thick and clean, the way he can score. This is going to be a great project for Montreal to develop and to reach the level he can reach one day, and possible to play with the Montreal Canadiens at some point. Again, this is something you can read about him. And again, it's another surprise because he got drafted a little bit late, by the way. The number 8 is Mattias Norlinder, left defenseman, 21 years old. He left Sweden for the Montreal Canadiens. He got back and forth with the Rocket Laval, and then he returned from London. One thing was not easy for him at this age. It's a new team. It's a new city. It's a new teammate. It's a new language. And I feel he never adapt himself with everything around him to have a better way to stay with the Montreal Canadiens. The injury make another factor against him. He got hurt at some point twice, and he have a difficult start with the Montreal Canadiens. And then, I'll be honest with you, Montreal Canadiens did not develop him properly. It was like almost like a yo-yo at the point where I'm not sure what happening with Norlinder for next season. Come back in Sweden, second game over there, he got a concussion, and it will be interesting how he's going to develop for the next couple of months. But Montreal, to be honest with you, fell for me about him last couple of months ago. They did not develop him properly. This is another information about him. You can read about this. Number 9, really Kidney, 19 years old, playing QM for the Islanders. Get better overall. He's a second-round pick for the Montreal Canadiens. Stronger playmaker. I see him really well with the American Hockey League. I'm not sure he will return next season, play one more year in junior or go to Rockets. That will be interesting. But him, it's all about developing. The Montreal need to give him all the tools he need to get better. It's just a project, a long term for Riley, and that's something he can learn about him. Number 10, Jayden Struble, left defenseman, 20 years old, play for the Northeastern. He's a teammate duo defenseman with Jordan Harris. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He does not have the great stat, but the guy is unbelievable. He played like a star like Romanov. Less offensive, a little bit more, but he play home house. He can hit hard. It would be interesting his development for him for the next couple of years. But he should stay with the NCAA next season. A little bit 1 year younger to Harris. So he need to improve his skating for me. But it would be interesting what will happen to him. He's for sure he did not sign yet for the Montreal Canadiens. And again, here you can read about Jayden. For the rest of this graphic, guys, I'm going to give you only the description for each player. Dmitry Kostnikov is a right defenseman. He's only 19 years old. He's playing right now on the MHK in Russia. It's a long term for him also. Just to be patient. It was a draft 2021, so we have to be patient with him for sure. Oliver Kapanen, 18 years old, center. Again, that's another one there. We did not do well the 2 games he played at the U20, but we cannot consider this. It's just another project Montreal have to develop with time and to be patient for him for sure. We have also Josh Brooks, the right defenseman, 22 years old for the Laval Rocket. Unfortunately for him, he got an MCL at the beginning of the year for the Rocket. He just returned with them last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. We'll be interesting how he's going to finish just the year with them. Because the Montreal Canadiens doesn't have a lot of right defensemen, Josh Brooks is going to have all the opportunity to play for Montreal next season, or at least to have a chance to get a spot with them. So it'll be interesting about how he's going to do next year. Of course, he need to get more skate for the next couple of weeks, a month. William Trudeau is a left defenseman, 19 years old for the QM. I don't have a lot of information about him, honestly, about William. This is a long project for him. But again, everything could happen with him for sure. The next one I want to talk about, guys, is Xavier Simoneau. I think he's at 5 or 6 right now in the ranking, the most point. The 20 years old is doing very well with the Islanders at that moment. It will be interesting what he's going to do. I'm going to be surprised to play with the Laval Rocket next year, the Montreal. The only thing is him, it's because he's really looked like a Johnny Gaudreau. He's only 5'7", but what a season he got, and it will be interesting. He worked hard, commit for the 3 zone, so he can read a little bit more. Finally, the last one I want to mention to you is Jenny Fairbrother, 21 years old, left defenseman, play right now for the Laval Rockets, drafted by the Everett Civil Tips. He passed all year right now with the Laval Rockets. It's someone the Montreal is on the radar, but I think another year, maybe 2 with Laval will helping him to become a defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens in the future. I'm give you again those information. Again, Logan Mailloux, guys, I didn't want to mention, but he really high prospect, and this organization, you're going to see him high next year. Again, I did not talk about Biondi, Slapley, and Ellis, and finally, Luke Tuck is right now Boston University. Have a better second half, by the way. But again, Montreal is going to be there for at least 1 or 2 more years. Pitlick, the brother, Rem Pitlick, playing University in Minnesota, is 20 years old. Jacob Alderson right now is from the last Sweden, play with Norlinder. Listen, guys, I give you a lot of information here for the Prospect Montreal. Hopefully, you like what I just produced to you. And the key for this is take your time on this video. It's going to be right now a video about 20 minutes, but you can pause the video and read about each player description. They have a lot of information for you guys. At the end of the day, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and likes and tell me what you think about the video and front prospect. Which one do you like the most? Which one do you expect? And that would be great conversation we can get on YouTube channel. But before we leave, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. I look forward to see you next video with the hockey coach guru, Coach FRENCHY, for another video series of Let's Talk Habs.